This is an update on our progress and experience over the last 6 months since the introduction of the new Profhilo cream and also the injectable form for use around the face, particularly the lower face, to cause improvement in the collagen and lifting and strengthening of the skin. Over that time we've injected about 400 treatments in various areas, but mainly on the lower face. Our results have been quite remarkable and fabulous so far. We've found that people within about 2 weeks of the first injection, but especially 2 weeks after the second injection, are noticing a significant improvement in just the smoothness and feel and firmness of the skin. They often use that word firmness. It feels firmer, it feels smoother. They see an improvement in the complexion, so the luster, the sheen, the pore size of the skin, and this seems to be lasting. So we know the result comes from the combination of hyaluronic acids, even though it acts as a new molecule and it's not just a short-lived treatment like putting hyaluronic acid on our skin. It has a longevity. It does have some plumping ability, and that's why you see an immediate or almost immediate short-term improvement. But the longevity comes from the biomodulation effects of how it improves skin collagen. So it does have a strengthening and lifting effect. Now we don't yet know how long that lasts from our direct experience in Australia, but overseas it's generally recommended to use twice a year, so it lasts as long as the other skin collagen improving treatments, such as focused ultrasound treatments with the Ultraformer and Ulthera, and some of the stronger laser treatments we use to tighten skin.